The new TNN proudly presents coverage of the 2002 ASA Racing Series Championship. His name is Johnny Sauter, and he set the world of short track stock car racing on fire last season. 10 wins, representing half the schedule, while becoming the only driver to capture both the Rookie of the Year and Series Champion titles simultaneously. Sauter's dominance in the blue number 9 placed him on the short list of other youngsters who stormed upon the motorsports scene and set the stage for what may become a decades-long career of checkered flags. But Johnny will tell you just how tough this achievement was to reach, how rugged the competition is in ASA. This circuit is the most prestigious short track stock car series in the world for a good reason, because of the men who drive in it and the teams who make it all happen. Sauter may have moved on, but these men, some of them rookies hoping it can happen for them, are here to continue the chase, to place their names in the record book, their trophies on the mantle. Welcome to USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida, and the premier event of the 2002 ASA Racing Series Championship. The W.J. Plemons Investments 200 represents the 509th time that competitors of this august series have taken to the track, and the 4th time they have visited this beautiful 3/4-mile oval. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Dillner, and welcome to the new TNN's coverage of ASA Racing. You can see the interest and the enthusiasm of ASA fans. ASA stirs up a lot of that here, and you can see that at the autograph session. And all these people are looming around one of the 3-time winners of this race, Gary St. Amant, who, in spite of Johnny Sauter's success last year, kept the championship battle alive right to the final event. Gary, Johnny's gone. A lot of people are pointing to you as the man this year.
Well, Bob, hopefully we can take our new AC-Delco colors and, win another championship in this even year. And, it's been the last, 4 years that a Sauter or St. Amant's won a championship, so hopefully we can continue the trend.
Well, Gary St. Amant mentioned the even year. He won the championship in '98 and also in 2000. That number 7 is going to be hunted this year, Jim Trado.
1 year ago, Mike Garvey climbed out of his car the victor here at the ASA race in Lakeland, Florida. That was 3 races into the season. He had terrible luck the first 2 events, so he grew a goatee to change his luck. Well, the goatee is back, but there's been a lot of changes for Mike Garvey. In just less than 2 months, he's had to assemble a brand new team. No more LaFavor Racing for you, a brand new effort down in Atlanta, Georgia. Tell us about what you've had to do to prepare for this race.
I'll tell you what we did, Jim, is we had to take a horse barn, a ranch, and turn it into a race car shop. And we took it in 2 months, completely refurbished the shop, built 2 new cars, assembled a team, got a great bunch of guys. And my brother-in-law, Bill Plemons, put this all together for me. And without him, I might not be racing today.
Mike Garvey's won a race from the last row in the past. He starts at the 8th row today. Another ASA winner looking to come from the middle is car number 63 of Robbie Pyle. Now to the newest member of our ASA broadcast, Brian Till.
Well, Jim, while past race winners like Garvey and Pyle may be starting a little further back in the field, there's a new name to ASA Racing that's starting up front. 16-year-old Kyle Busch will start outside the front row for his first ever ASA race. Now, Kyle, a guy named Johnny Sauter came in here as a rookie last year and walked away with a championship. You measure your success against his, or do you have your own set of goals?
We have our own set of goals. We're really, the record that Johnny set down for us, that's amazing. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to break that this year, but, we're not really going to try and shoot for that, but we got our own set of goals we're going to accomplish, and Rookie of the Year is one of them, and maybe as much as 1 or 2 wins, just whatever comes our way, we're really looking forward to this year.
Well, Kyle Busch wants to win races. He wants Rookie of the Year, and with Noah Yoder and a group like Roush Racing behind him, keep an eye on this 07 car. Bob?
Oh, Brian, Kyle Busch has plenty of rookie competitors to duke it out with this year, and there are some awesome names in this rookie class, including 2-time All-Pro champion Wayne Anderson and David Stremme, who has Howie Leto on his side. We'll be back with the W.J. Plemons Investments 200, presented by Johnny King in Lakeland, when we come back. Coverage of the 2002 ASA Racing Series Championship is being brought to you by BF Goodrich Tires. Take control. Beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. That is the skyline there. Some fun in the sun, on the water for people. But we are just about an hour outside of Tampa in Lakeland, Florida, getting ready to do battle with the ASA Racing Series. That a picture of historic downtown Lakeland. And we cannot wait to get kick-started here today. We're going to have a great year here on the new TNM with the ASA Racing Series. Lots up for grabs, including the points championship.
On behalf of WJ Plemons Investments, Charles Prater's All Carpets, gentlemen, start those engines!
ASA Racing comes to life here in 2002. We're excited to get kick-started. That right there, the AC-Delco car for Gary St. Amant. He will be on the pole today for the WJ Plemons Investments 200. We have plenty of makes in today's race, including 32 Chevys, 2 Fords, and 2 Pontiacs. Those Chevys definitely dominating in today's race. Taking a look at things here at Lakeland today, we're going to find out from Buddy Baker what it takes to win here in Lakeland, Florida at this 3/4 of a mile track.
The keys to victory here at Lakeland, very simple. Keep the brakes on the car. It's a brake killer. Also, the car must turn in the center part of the corner. If it won't turn, it kills the straightaway speed. That's the key to victory here at Lakeland.
Well, if anybody knows, Buddy Baker certainly knows. He has tested here in an ASA car last year, so he knows how to get around this racetrack. On the pole for today's race, the 2-time champion, Gary St. Amant on the outside. The 17-year-old kid, Kyle Busch, Joey Clanton. He won this race, actually won the opener a year ago. Brad Bennett on the 4th row from the Northeast. Kevin Sawinski, he's won the ASA Championship before. He starts 7th. Mike Cope, a Florida native in that 6th row. And the other guy in that 6th row, Buddy Baker, who now joins me in the booth, David Stremme. He had a little problem. He's got a better car than that.
Yeah, and he's a rookie. He actually had the 5th fastest time, but he had problems in the first qualifying effort. And actually, the best he could start is 11th today.
Exactly, in the Meyer car. Going back a little further in the field, J.C. Beatty in row number 12, and Reed Sorensen in row 14, a 16-year-old kid, Buddy.
Another rookie starting very far back in the field, but let me tell you, you got one of the best, and Gary St. Amant starting on the pole. This kid's going to learn a lot today. I look for Reed Sorensen to show us a lot.
We see all sorts of ages here in ASA this year, and now we have a good thing for you. The BF Goodrich Tires Point of View.
Some of the things that you never think about on a short track car are aerodynamics, but they're just as important as a great motor. As you can see the front of Mike Garvey's car here, the front end's actually dragging on the racing surface. Why? To make a seal to the pavement and keep the air from going under the front of the car and lifting it up, making it impossible to turn in the middle part of the corner. Aerodynamics, something you wouldn't think about, but short track racing is just as important as good springs in the car. Jim Trado?
Buddy, the unsung heroes of ASA are the crew members who spent the last 5 months preparing these race cars and themselves for the season. Now, it spells out in black and white in the rule book what the teams can and cannot change, but they've explored every gray area to maximize their performance. Also, keep in mind, in addition to building these race cars, the teams have adapted a daily pit stop practice schedule. Brian Till?
The place where there is no gray area in the rules for 2002 as far as ASA is concerned is in the rules of safety. They've mandated head and neck restraints for all of the drivers for the 2002 season. Now, there are 2 different types of devices that have been approved, the Hans device and the Hutchings device. And even though the 2 may look very different, they work the same way by utilizing these tether straps to eliminate forward head motion in a frontal impact. That reduces whiplash to the driver. Bob Dillner.
Safety and speed are the 2 biggest themes here in ASA, and to go quick at Lakeland, nearly half the field went testing here. And among the quickest here in testing was the number 33 of Greg Stewart. He's run this race twice and finished in the top 10 both times. And with a brand new sponsor, he is pretty balanced this year. And there's been no questioning that Greg Stewart has always had plenty of power. And that's today's BFG POV.
And for the first time in the Wimmer Racing's efforts here in ASA, they brought 1 car to Lakeland, Florida. They towed down from Wisconsin. It took them forever, 33 hours instead of 26. Unfortunately, they had a problem in practice. A left rear trailing arm bolt broke. Chris Wimmer hit the wall extremely hard, really hard, in the turn 1 wall, left side impact. They replaced the left front suspension. They got the rear end as true as they possibly could. However, the unfortunate thing is the Wisconsin Cheesecake Chevy may just be 1 or 2 laps on the racetrack, and they'll park it. To Brian Till.
Well, I talked to Gary St. Amant before the race, and he had a scary comment to make, and that comment was, I have a better race car than I have a qualifying car. The other competitors better look out. Gary St. Amant may be hooked up.
Well, buddy, that is pretty scary if he's got a better race car, because he turned in quite a good qualifying run. Gary St. Amant knows how to win here. Won 2 years ago in this race.
Exactly right. And I asked him the difference this year and last year going into the season. He said, I actually had some time off. I'm excited about this year.
Okay, buddy, I want to know, as we get set to go green flag racing here, as we look at Gary St. Amant and the rest of the field, what is it going to take to run this race up front and then be able to battle for the win at the end?
Biggest thing is keeping the car intact. If you knock the front end off the car, you're in big trouble here. You have to really work this racetrack. You can overrun the tires and lose grip, and all of a sudden you go straight backwards.
We have some incredible talent in this field, an incredible, talented rookie class. Mentioned a little earlier in the show, Wayne Anderson, David Stremme. There's just all sorts of guys, and you know that Wayne Anderson's going to be pretty tough here this year in the Johnny King car.
Yeah, I don't consider him a rookie at all. He's a great race car driver. He and his dad both are great on short tracks.
Jim Trado, what do you got for us?
Following up on Mike Garvey again, he put this team together in 45 days. A number of his crew members from LeFevre Racing moved with him. He moved to Atlanta. Some of the crew members moved along. But the thing about Mike Garvey is he knows how to win at this racetrack. He's competed here maybe more than any other driver. What Garvey's situation is, he's in Atlanta with his brother-in-law. It's two sisters racing, Myra and Lisa. They're sisters, married, of course, to Bill Plemons and Mike Garvey. They've actually had a chance to test. I'd say he may well be a shot for the championship because Garvey knows how to get it done here at Lakeland. He's won here a year ago, looking to repeat. To Brian Till.
Well, Buddy Baker knows how important the right gear for the race is, and one of the things that's changed today is obviously a lot more traffic that these guys are going to be running in, but the other thing is the wind. For the last 2 days, the wind has been blowing down the straightaways, and today it's blowing across. If these guys guessed wrong on the gear for the car, thinking that the wind was going to push them down the straightaway, they're dead wrong. The wind's blowing straight across the racetrack today.
The 35th ASA Racing season, we're about to get started. 19 tracks on the schedule, 12 different states. In fact, 10 different states represented in the top 10 qualifying as far as the drivers in today's race. And here we go, Green Flag 2002 ASA Racing Series. How about that, buddy? Kyle Busch grabs the lead. Maybe a little problem for Gary St. Amant on that start.
Well, that's that young inexperience there, but let me tell you, he drove it on down in the corner and took the lead. Kyle Busch now leads his first lap in ASA, and you can see right now pulling away from Gary St. Amant.
An incredible feat for the rookie to lead his first lap of ASA competition. We got a great battle brewing right now for the 4th spot right there. That's the number 21 car of Dan Fredrickson, the Remax Challenge Series Rookie of the Year, and the Great Clips car against Pat Kelly. And Pat Kelly is one of those underfunded teams in the RaceFan.com car.
And Fredrickson ran the late model cars down here a couple of weeks ago. I said, how'd you do? He said, I brought a knife to a gunfight.
Well, we're going to take a look at the replay of the start of this race because, man, Kyle Busch just took off. He was flying, whether it was those young reflexes or what, I don't know, buddy.
Well, right now, he's going to get an education as far as how this car works. As they take off there, you can see Busch, you're not supposed to be able to pass on the outside here. He didn't know that. He just drove her on down in there. That's the good part of being young.
Exactly. Gary St. Amant's got a... Uh-oh, wait a second. Busch off the pace on the inside on the backstretch. Troubles for the Baby Ruth 07 for Kyle Busch as Gary St. Amant takes the lead.
He did not have trouble. He did a very smart thing. A young driver. He pulled over. He's going to let these guys that have run here before, he's just fallen in 3rd place there. He's going to follow some experience, I think.
That's why you're the pro, buddy. Gary St. Amant. Joey Clanton there in 2nd spot. He won the opener in ASA competition last year. 3 wins to his credit in the Campfire USA number 83 as he trails Gary St. Amant. A lot of people think Joey Clanton's going to contend for this title this year.
Joey Clanton in that yellow car as they go down in the corner all over the back of Gary St. Amant's car, actually below the yellow line there with the left side of the car.
Gary St. Amant still leads his field. Plenty of battles a little bit further back in the pack. Right now, the top 5, Gary St. Amant, Joey Clanton, Kyle Busch, Dan Fredrickson, the rookie as well, and Pat Kelly, who is also a rookie competitor in ASA. Right now, not sure if he's going to actually contend for the Rookie of the Year title, but he is hoping to if sponsorship prevails. We're going to be back here in Lakeland, Florida with more exciting action as Joey Clanton goes for the lead. We'll be back. Don't go away. Trouble already in the WJ Plemons Investments 200 presented by Johnny King. The ASA season just a couple of laps underway, but take a look at that. We have trouble on the racetrack. That is the number 82 of Jeff Emery. And, buddy, we're going to take a look at why we are under yellow flag condition.
Going down into turn 1, you see the 14 there. That is Doug Malik. He gets in the back of the 10 car of Greg Williams and turns him sideways. You see everybody just got bottled up there. You can see the Beatty there in the 09 has nowhere to go. Look at the 10 car vault up in the air.
Wow, Greg Williams, a tough hit for him. Malik looked like he just got into Brian Schwartz. J.C. Beatty also involved. And another guy also involved, that man right there in the number 82 car, a rookie in this series, Jeff Emery, planning to compete the entire season, buddy. He had one ASA start last season, looking to possibly come back onto pit road. We're going to get a little bit more reacquainted with Jeff Emery.
Florida businessman Jeff Emery is also in the rookie chase for the entire season. He had one race a year ago in a different car. He brings a new approach and a new attitude to ASA from his experience in a super late model. Jeff, what are the challenges you face running ASA?
Well, the biggest difference is getting used to the radial tires, and there's not much stagger in these tires compared to what we're used to. These only have an inch, and our late model had 2 inches. I'm trying to improve as a driver and get better, and this is a good series to do that in because you have to learn how to become a better driver driving these cars than the late models. And we're just trying to finish races and see how good we can do through the year.
Jeff's also trying to add to another rookie title. He won the 1997 New Smyrna Speedway Track Championship in the Rookie of the Year category.
You know, buddy, that's an interesting point. We see so many champions, whether it is other touring series or track champions, but adapting to this ASA series is pretty darn tough.
Yeah, and what happened to him is he got collected from behind. He got on the brakes, and they couldn't react fast enough, got in the back of him.
Jim Trado, what do you got for us? Jim Trado down on pit road. J.C. Beatty, we see the damage down there. Jim, are you with us? Seems like we lost Jim's microphone down there as we see J.C. Beatty climb out of that ATI performance car, buddy.
And a track bar is broke on that car in the back. They're going to have to work on it quite a bit before they can get Beatty back into action.
Beatty obviously disappointed. Came into this season with very high hopes, tested down here in Lakeland, Florida. 1 to go, we are being told. We're going to go back to green flag racing action and trying to sort things out right now, buddy.
Yeah, and what happened in that wreck down there was everybody wants to get to the bottom of the racetrack, and as they go down in there, just a little casual contact from the back of Malik's car in the Schwartz and just turned him, and everybody behind him had nowhere to go. Green flag, here we go.
You said it, it's a tough racetrack here at this 3/4 mile oval. Joey Clanton trying to track down Gary St. Amant right now, looking to the inside a little bit. Joey Clanton out of Stockbridge, Georgia, and right now, Kyle Busch showing some maybe maturity in 3rd place.
I tell you what, they better fear this youngster because he's showing a lot of maturity there. Led the early part of the race, dropped back into 3rd. He's watching 2 great pros in the ASA series up front, Gary St. Amant and Clanton, as they go around the racetrack. He's just going along, finding out what it takes to win here.
We're going to find out more on pit road, Jim Trado.
1 car behind the wall is J.C. Beatty out of Baltimore, Maryland. J.C., this is way too early to talk to you, but looked like it happened right in front of you. What did you see?
Yeah, the spotter didn't even have time to say anything. It was just real quick. Everybody stacked up, and we avoided heavy damage, but then whoever's behind us kind of catapulted over us, and wasn't that good. But either way, I want to say happy birthday to my mom.
What's the preliminary report? You could be able to get back out?
Yeah, I think the rear end's bent a little bit, so we'll suffer with that. We had to replace the shock, but we'll get out and finish some laps and get some points.
Well, that car behind him, Jim Trado, was the number 10 of Greg Williams. And, you know, we're talking about Kyle Busch, but we also have to give a big applause to the guy running 4th right now. Actually, let's take a look at this. Kevin Sawinski going to the inside. Contact coming out of turn number 2. That's Sawinski in the number 1, the Tecumseh car, going to the inside and taking the position on Pat Kelly.
Well, if I was in one of those race cars today, that would be the car I would want to be in. It is really running very, very well. You can see the front of that car just going down like it has traction control on the front of the car, just holding it down against the racetrack.
Back to the leaders. Joey Clanton still stalking Gary St. Amant, but here comes Kyle Busch. A minute ago, I was about to talk about that 4th place car, Dan Fredrickson in the number 21 Great Clips car. We talk about Kyle Busch, you got to give some big applause to Dan Fredrickson as well, buddy.
Fredrickson was smart enough to come down here and run a late model series race on this racetrack, so he has some experience here. But now, all he sees in his mirror, you can see the one car there of Kevin Sawinski moving up on him as they come through the corner.
Teammates battling here. That's the LaFavor Racing gang as we look at Gary St. Amant in the lead. But for fourth spot right now, Kevin Sawinski approaching his teammate and goes underneath. Take a look at, there we go, Sawinski going underneath and passes Dan Fredrickson, his teammate. You know, talking about Fredrickson, that deal, he didn't know, oh, we got trouble on the backstretch, big time trouble. Oh man, take a look at that. That's the Oakley number 4 of Brandon Miller and Russ Tuttle in the Conseco Pontiac.
The green car there that you see, Russ Tuttle sideways right in the racing groove. Luckily, nobody got into him as he was sitting there with nowhere to go.
I believe that's also, as we look at the Conseco Pontiac right now, Greg Stewart in the body balance car also stuck on the backstretch right now. Greg Stewart had high hopes coming into this race, as did Russ Tuttle.
And Brandon Miller, the rookie, he's also a crew. He's part of the Gary St. Amant race team. He's running the second car for that group. He's having a lot of problems. He's just now back underway. This is Stewart's car. You see water coming out of the overflow there on the right-hand side.
That's not a good sign. Greg Stewart inside that race car right now. Actually tested down here, as we told you, was pretty quick. Doug Stevens right there also involved at a Lovejoy, Georgia. Doug Stevens practiced very well here, but obviously some big-time trouble early in this race.
Now that looks like that car is really torn up, but they can actually put that rear clip back on that car and get him back in the race if they can bring it back to a pit road.
Buddy, we're going to take a look at the replay and try to figure out what happened here.
That's Russ Tuttle sliding there right down the middle of the backstretch. Everybody else, you can see the 4 car there getting up in the air. Brandon Miller, rookie, had nowhere to go, just got right up on another car.
Wow. Take a look at another replay here. Just lots of stuff happening and nowhere to go for these guys.
Looked like Tuttle just came off the corner there. Whether he had any help or not, I couldn't really tell, but it looked like he just lost the car coming up out of 2 there. And once you create that problem in front of everyone, there's nowhere to go.
Down to Brian Till. We see Brandon Miller pulling off of pit road. We'll get back to Brian in just a second. Some major damage to the front end of that Oakley number 4 car. Greg Stewart walking off the racetrack. He appears to be okay. Just a tough break. Bad luck continues for Greg Stewart. We saw it many, many times last year, buddy.
I guess if anybody was a hard luck guy last year, Greg Stewart was the one. It's good to see him walking around like that. He had a pretty good lick over there.
He definitely did, and I expect Greg Stewart and that guy right there, Russ Tuttle, to win a race this year. Russ has definitely progressed in this series, and you know, I don't think Russ has too much damage, buddy.
I'm looking at the way the car is tracking, though. It looks like it's a little bit off camber there. The rear's moved over a little bit in that car, so I would say he's coming into pits right now to have some work done on that race car. You can see the back of the car. It does have some damage to it there.
Finished 11th in points in 18 starts in last year's ASA competition. Brian Till.
Well, the 63 car of Robbie Pyle, the Citgo car, is in. They're raised the hood. This is not what you want to see in a short track race. They obviously have some type of problem. Looking at the fuel injection, it looks like, and actually looking at the temperature of the exhaust pipes, obviously some type of a misfire in the engine, buddy. It looks like they're looking for some type of a problem in the firing system.
Well, that's actually a problem that started existing in that car yesterday in the Citgo Chevrolet, and they knew they had a miss in the engine, thought they had it licked, though.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, they're really confused. They're going to send him back out, and hopefully they have cured the problem.
To my buddy, Jim Trado.
Car Chief Bob Durovka is looking at the left front of the Conseco Chevrolet for Russ Tuttle. The left rear looks askew as well. He was involved in the incident. There is minor body damage. I believe they're looking at the brake line in the left front of Tuttle's Chevrolet. They're looking under, doing a very quick survey. They've put fuel in the car. We can see that the left rear of the spoiler is actually bent. The left rear of the spoiler is actually kicked back, so he got heavy contact when Brandon Miller skied off with that pack of cars.
Well, Russ Tuttle had high hopes for today. He actually moved his entire operation to Glenn Allen's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, so that Glenn could be a little bit closer to his family and prepare that car, but they're going to have to prepare for another day to contend for a win another day, buddy.
Yes, and Glenn Allen, you probably recognize that name. He was Rookie of the Year in Busch Grand National. Quite a good driver himself, but he's the wrench man on this car now, crew chief. really runs this whole operation, and he knows what he's doing.
Glenn Allen has won races here in ASA, and Brian Till, you're also a racer too.
Well, it looks like they found the problem on Robbie Pyle's car. They had a spark plug wire. It looks like it burned through. They replaced that, sent it back out, see if they can fix the miss on that with that new spark plug wire. The question is, why did it burn through in the first place?
Very interesting,
Yes.
buddy.
Usually if there's a problem like that, you need to put some kind of insulation in between that wire or it'll burn again.
Brian Till, did they mind you finding that information out on pit road?
Well, I actually had it in my hand, and somebody took it out of my hand before the camera could see it. You know how racers are, and buddy, I mean, you can certainly appreciate this. Everybody thinks they have their own little tricks, and crew chief was not at all happy that that was about to be seen on television.
Boo. Well, we don't want to get into that. One thing about it, I hope they have the problem solved. That'd be the big thing.
Well, you know, they do a lot of things to these engines to protect from the heating issues and so forth, and they put protective coating over the spark plug wires and so forth. And you know what? We have plenty of racing action left to go here in Lakeland, Florida. The WJ Plemons Investments 200, presented by Johnny King, coming back in a moment. One of the old planes at the Fantasy of Flight Museum here in Lakeland, Florida. You can see that plane actually going into the ground. It's kind of indicative of what we've seen here in this race. Plenty of crashes as we get underway once again with Gary St. Amant in the lead, leading Joey Clanton and Kyle Busch. Here comes Kyle again, buddy.
Well, he looked to the inside there, and he said, maybe not. Here's the guy on the move right now, the 25, Mike Cope, looking on the inside of Castellino there as they start off turn 2. Mike has tested here. He's really running very well.
Oh, yes, and I talked to him in the shop a couple of days ago. He said, you know what, Bob? We found something with this car that's going to make us big time fast here. He is a Florida native, would really like to win at Lakeland, Florida, and pick up his first ASA victory.
And that black car, number 64, Brad Bennett, he's from Stafford, Connecticut.
Brad Bennett from my neck of the woods. Watched him a lot in the Busch North Series. Also ran some Craftsman trucks. Brad Bennett, a very good shoe in that number 64 car. Unsponsored right now, I might add.
I don't think that's going to last because he's really making a great run right now on Mike Cope down the back straightaway, watching Gary St. Amant go down in the corner. One of the smoothest short track drivers of all times.
Gary is definitely a champ of any short track series. Has also won the All-American 400 and the Snowball Derby in Pensacola, Florida. And we'll visit Pensacola a little later on this year. Joey Clanton, also a pretty tough cracker here, as Kyle Busch maybe going to the inside, and it looked like he was trying to allow Kevin Sawinski to pass. As we look a little further back in the field, Robbie Pyle, big time trouble for him. You think he got that ignition fixed?
At the moment, the car looked like it's going down the straightaway quite well. We're going to throw to the pit guy there, but he's busy getting some other information. But as you see Robbie Pyle there running up on the bottom side, has good straightaway speed now. Apparently the car is back to full song.
Jim Trado, you have a report on that number 16 car.
The crew continues to work on the left front of Russ Tuttle's Chevrolet Russ. It looks like they're replacing the left front control arm. It had to be a wild ride for you out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's Conseco Chevrolet was running pretty good too. I was pretty happy with what the guys did. And we were just biding our time and trying to move up, and they checked up in front of me, so I got checked up, but apparently somebody behind me couldn't get checked up. And he sent us for a little ride, and then we ended up getting clipped by the 98. That wasn't really his fault. But, I hate it for Conseco. I hate it for the guys that worked hard all winter to build us a brand new left-hander, and I think we would have been pretty good today.
Russ Tuttle's shop is now in Cincinnati, where crew chief Glenn Allen Jr. resides, and the crew entirely moved down there from Indianapolis for Tuttle.
Buddy, take a look at that number 1 car. Big time fast here as Kevin Sawinski catches the top duo.
Kevin Sawinski, we watched him all last year. Very, very good on this type of racetrack. He's moving right up on the back bumper now. Joey Clanton in that yellow car. Gary St. Amant, though, feeling no heat, I don't think.
If you watched ASA last year, you might be a bit confused. Kevin Sawinski was in the number 21 car, now in the number 1 car, as we look at the real live scoring here at ASA. And you know what? Kevin Sawinski is no stranger to that Tecumseh number 1, because he won the championship in that car back in 1997.
He did that, and as you can see, the car really hooked up. He's all over Clanton now, and in third spot, the black car, number 1, Kevin Sawinski.
Kevin Sawinski finished second here a couple of years ago when ASA returned to this facility, and he finished second to the guy that's leading right now in the AC-Delco car.
just watching all these cars go around. As you see, a couple of cars there a little bit off the pace coming in the pits now. But here we go, a challenge for the lead.
Here comes Joey Clanton in the Campfire USA car. He wants the lead, and he's got it. Now here comes Kevin Sawinski in the Tecumseh #1. He's on the inside, and you know what? Gary St. Amant may be showing a little patience himself here, buddy.
Whatever it is, he's now in third spot. He was running first just a second ago. Got a little bit high getting into turn 1 because Clanton had made a move to the inside of him. But Joey Clanton showing a lot of muscle at the moment.
Of course, Joey Clanton, Kyle Busch, and Gary St. Amant all picking up 5 bonus points for leading the race here today, and that could be very important in the championship chase.
Everybody wants those extra points, and Gary St. Amant now about 5-6 car lengths back. As a matter of fact, Kyle Busch, I knew I was going to do that today, but Kyle Busch now moving in on Gary St. Amant also.
You know, we need to explain that as we watch Kevin Sawinski. Kyle Busch, we're talking a lot about him today. His brother Kurt runs in the Winston Cup Series. Oh, we got trouble coming off of turn number 2, the number 17 all-carpet car for Mike Garvey around. Oh, tough break for him, buddy.
Yeah, but he got back, didn't lose anything but a few spots, got the car corrected back. Now he's coming around for the yellow flag. Really, if you're going to spin around, that's about the least damage you can get on a short track without getting collected by some other car.
So maybe not so bad a break for the number 17 car of Garvey. Of course, his car owner sponsoring today's race with the WJ Plemons Investments 200. And you know what? If you like what you've seen so far, we got a lot more coming. We'll be back in Lakeland, Florida, as Joey Clanton leads over Kevin Sawinski. Welcome back to beautiful Lakeland, Florida, USA International Speedway. We are under caution, and this is the reason why, buddy.
Mike Garvey, pinned down on the bottom, picks up the throttle. He gets into the 11 car there just a little bit. David Stremme stands on the throttle, and around the car goes. Everybody misses him. He's back underway. No harm, no foul.
Oh, tough break for him because he has to go to the rear of the field, but Mike Garvey is a hard charger. And now we're going to take a look at the last 50 laps here of competition. Actually, the first 50 laps in ASA competition, the start of the race. Take a look at that, the rookie, the 07 car of Kyle Busch in the lead. Then Gary St. Amant is out front, battling with Joey Clanton, the Campfire USA car. And then a big wreck. Look at Greg Williams go over the top of J.C. Beatty in turn 1. More trouble. Russ Tuttle spinning on the backstretch. Brandon Miller goes over Doug Stevens. Woo! Plenty of action here. And then right after that, Joey Clanton says, you know what? I want the lead. We're looking at Kevin Sawinski right there. But Joey Clanton would go to the front, passing the AC-Delco car of Gary St. Amant. And that's the first 50 laps, buddy.
Absolutely. Very exciting. A lot of action.
That's what ASA is all about. Short track, short tempers, all attitude as we go. Green flag. Taking a look at where some of the guys are running a little further back in the field. Doug Malik involved in that early wreck. Mike Cope just pitted in the 24th spot right now. Silverthorne, Stevens way back in the 32nd spot, but plenty of racing action on the track right now, including Fredrickson, St. Amant, and Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch just give Gary St. Amant a little shot in the pants there, going into the corner. He's on the move at the moment. He got caught on the outside and just drove around the 21 car there, Fredrickson, picking up the pace now, making Gary St. Amant one of the best short track drivers in the nation really hustle.
If you want to see where your favorite driver in this field is running, take a look at the upper left part of your screen, the ASA Racing scoreboard. You can see Reed Sorensen, that 15-year-old, already up to the 15th spot. As we look a little further back in the pack, all sorts of great racing going on. Peter Cozzolino in the McDonald's number 44 there. And those are two Florida guys, actually. The number 86, the Johnny King car of Wayne Anderson, and the 30 car, the Bob Steele Chevrolet of Travis Kittleson.
Kittleson in the 30 car right on the bottom, just in front of him, one of the winningest drivers on short tracks in this part of the country, Wayne Anderson. All over the back, though. You can see the 30 car there, just giving him everything. Travis Kittleson all over him as they go down the back straightaway.
You know what? That Johnny King car is one bad to the bone race car, too. I like those flames on the front. You think that intimidates anybody, buddy?
I think his father, if he was here, he would be intimidating Wayne Anderson. I tell you what, Dick Anderson, one of the winningest drivers in this state ever. I talked to him about his father. He said he's 53 years old and he can still bench press over 400 pounds.
He's a pretty strong guy, but you know what? That kid in the 30 car is doing all right for himself. Of course, Travis Kittleson, he's one of the rising young stars, and he actually won a race here at Lakeland during Speed Fest, won a couple of poles down here in the month of January. Right now, Travis running in the A spot as they go around the lap car right there. That'll be the number 48 of Rich Gardner. Kittleson, if he runs the full season, I would expect him to actually win a race this year, buddy.
Oh, he's got great equipment, and he knows how to make the car work. You can see the car really hanging right on the bottom. Wayne Anderson is the type of driver, though, just in front of him, that 86 car. The longer he runs today, the faster he'll be. He will be a factor before the day's out.
Those are two rookies in today's field, and we're going to get to know a little bit more on Travis Kittleson with this little report.
The ASA Racing Series allows any competitor to run up to 8 times in a given year without having to declare rookie status. Florida native Travis Kittleson is one of those drivers that took advantage of that ruling. You raced 7 times a year ago, Travis, in ASA to prepare for the full assault this year. How does that make you different than anyone else that may be racing ASA for the first time?
Well, I feel that I got a leg up on somebody who had run, maybe just running for the first time. I know these guys are real competitive. It's real tight racing. The long races, you got to be able to save your equipment. They're a whole lot different than the short races.
And Travis Kittleson is an experienced short track veteran in the state of Florida. He already has 30 races in this year.
Ooh, how about that? He's already run plenty, and actually he's been commuting back and forth from Florida to North Carolina because he houses that number 30 car in North Carolina, but he lives here in Florida. The guy right in front of him, buddy, we've talked about him a lot. Wayne Anderson, a 2-time All-Pro champion, and he really doesn't need much of an introduction because he is one bad boy, and he's bringing a little bit of a rebel attitude here to the ASA Racing Series. Definitely expect this guy to win a race here in ASA Racing competition this year.
The word rookie doesn't really come to mind when Wayne Anderson's name is mentioned in conjunction with short track racing. He's won a lot of short track races and several championships. But Wayne, you are a rookie in ASA. But with your experience, the question has to be, do you want Rookie of the Year or do you want the championship?
Well, this is a great team I'm with here. I've been with them for 4 years now, and the rookie thing is really what we're looking forward to this year. But, you know, who knows? The championship may be in mind. We just got to take it one race at a time. And like I say, we're just very fortunate to be over here with the ASA Series.
Wayne Anderson, a very competitive driver. He's won at other levels of the sport. Can he take that success to ASA?
Of course, he brings the Johnny King sponsorship that Mike Miller had in ASA last year. Mike Miller is on the grounds. We'd like to say hello to him because he is a dynamite racer indeed. But what do you think about Wayne Anderson, buddy?
Well, we're real fortunate to have him in ASA. I've watched him throughout his racing career. Very, very talented guy. I look for him not only to run for the championship this year, I look for him to win some races.
You know what's pretty cool? He was asking about the point system here in ASA in the drivers meeting the other day, and then he raised his hand and he said, hey, I have a question. And the guy said, well, what's your question? He says, you know, if we have an altercation on the racetrack, do I get any points if I get into a fight? That's the type of guy, a real hard-nosed racer that Wayne Anderson is, but the guy behind him, man, is really pressuring him right now. Travis Kittleson looking to the inside.
I think Wayne would like to do a little adjusting on his car. He's not. Here comes Bobby Powell there in the 63. He's back up to full song, no question about it. He is really running well now.
He really is. Has had a fast car, that Sitco Chevrolet, all weekend long here. He is up to the 18th spot right now. He was as high as 6th in this race, and he is following Reed Sorensen, that 16-year-old in the aviation group, number 29 right now, buddy.
Well, he's all over the back. Very tough to pass here. You have long straightaways, but you can see the groove is right around the bottom part of the racetrack, and making it very tough to get an angle where you can make a pass.
With 66 laps down, actually 67 right now, what do you think about pit strategy? A lot of guys told me, buddy, one stop today. When is that stop going to take place?
Well, one thing you want is good track position, so you don't want to give that up. But I'd say about halfway on, you can look for people to start wondering whether they need tires or not. They need them now, but they won't get them until they don't want to give up track position for tires.
You might wonder where a 16-year-old gets to run ASA. Well, you know what? He's got plenty of experience, Reed Sorensen. He has run the Legends cars, run super late models. He's got a lot of experience for actually a guy that's just so darn young. Right now, a battle for 9th on the racetrack. That's the number 5, the Rocket Man, Rick Beebe, made 2 starts in ASA competition this year, but he is no stranger to ASA. He has returned after many successful seasons before last year. That's quite a logjam right there with the number 28 of Tim Taylor, the number 11 Meyer car of David Stremme, and just in front there, the number 38 of Johnny Spa.
Johnny Spa was very pleased with his, he's from Cedar Rapids, by the way. Johnny Spa in the 38 there, with Rick Beebe right in the trunk lid as they come off the corner there. But Johnny Spa was very, very pleased with the way the car was running and qualifying, and said, you know, we have a pretty good chance here. He wants to continue on racing this year, but he is looking for a sponsor.
He didn't even know as of a week ago that he was going to run this race here, and then his car owner and the Medicap Pharmacies deal said, come on, we're going to go to Florida, we're going to race this, and that made Johnny one happy camper. But right now he has his hands full with Rick Beebe and a whole host of others behind there.
The 28 car there, that's Tim Taylor. He's coming out of the corner, and you see the 66 car there.
Pat Kelly in that machine, he actually ran in the top 5 a little earlier in this race, but has faded back right now. Pat Kelly pacing himself, but the Rocket Man certainly not, as he dives low on Johnny Spa, trying to pick up a spot on the racetrack, and here comes Stremme as well.
You watch how many positions right now Johnny Spa loses by losing that grip in the bottom part of the racetrack. Everybody's coming by. He lost 4 spots in less than 1 corner.
Wow, and here comes Stremme. He's a highly touted rookie, has led laps, has won poles in this series. He's got Howie Leto, the legendary wrench in ASA competition. Actually, Howie has coached 6 ASA rookies to the Rookie of the Year title in ASA. You like this action? We got more coming up for you. That's right, there is the Campfire USA crew chief, Bon Suss, on top of the box, watching Joey Clanton lead this race. We got more racing action coming from you from Lakeland, Florida. You're looking at one of the many beautiful parks here in the Lakeland, Florida area, and that right there is a steam locomotive. That thing was probably pretty quick in his day, and I can tell you something, one guy that has plenty of steam out on the racetrack right now is the leader, Joey Clanton. Man, he is opening up quite a distance over the second place car.
He's got a lot of distance right now, but he's fixing to run into a lot of lap traffic also. As he moves up, he's going to catch the tail end of the field here. And these guys are not going to just roll over and play dead. They're going to try to stay in the lead lap.
And as you mentioned it before, buddy, it's very, very difficult to pass on this racetrack as we go way back to the number 1 car of Kevin Sawinski. That shows you the distance, the interval between Clanton and him right now.
Boy, oh boy, almost a full straightaway.
You know, Clanton was really hot early in the season last year. The team admitted they got maybe off track a little bit late in the season, but then again in the last couple of races, they looked like they were well on their way to another championship possible season this coming year. And Kevin Sawinski, he knows what the championship is all about too, and I wouldn't count him out, definitely not, buddy.
Well, I think Kevin right now may be protecting his tires just a little bit. Joey Clanton is just running like a wild Indian.
And that's the 3rd place car, the AC-Delco number 7 for Gary St. Amant. Again, another guy that has always said he paces himself for the first part of the race and he races the last 50 laps, buddy. What do you think of that strategy?
We'll see. Right now, I like the way Joey Clanton is getting around the racetrack. And one thing you have, the flagman's working for the lead car. He's moving the lap traffic over. When you get past 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, they don't move for anybody.
And 4th place is the number 21 car of Dan Fredrickson, that great Clips machine. 2 rookies actually still in the top 5, and that being Dan Fredrickson and also the guy that led the race a little bit earlier, actually going a little bit further back behind Dan Fredrickson, and that's the 07 car of Kyle Busch. Dan Fredrickson looking pretty good and not too bad after getting that team together in just 1 lap. That's pretty incredible. That right there is the car that we've been talking about. Just went out of your screen, Kyle Busch, running very, very well out here today. And that's the top 5 for you, Books. Right there, the 07 car. Buddy, do the rookies have a shot at maybe the win here today and getting past the likes of St. Amant, Clanton, and Sawinski?
Well, the one thing I'm noticing right now, he's getting an education. He has no idea what these cars are really like. This is his first ever ASA race. Kettleson, on the other hand, Travis Kettleson right behind him, is closing in on him at a pretty good rate right now.
Kittleson is flying. He has gotten by Brad Bennett, and we saw him battling with Wayne Anderson a little bit earlier. Well, he's about to battle with Kyle Busch there in that number 07 car.
And a lot of lap traffic up in front, so they have to be very, very careful. You got to be fast, but you have to be careful.
But you know what? No rookie in the history of ASA has ever won the opener.
And that's in 34 years of competition. Never has a rookie won the first race.
Not even Johnny Sauter, who was a rookie, the first to win both the Rookie of the Year title and the Series championship. He didn't even win the opener. We take a look at the live scoring update in the left part of your screen. Brad Bennett, we talked about him. He is a talented driver, but he has no sponsor on that side of the car, but he plans to compete full-time in ASA this year.
I've been to New Hampshire many a time, and he ran modifieds up there and did a great job in them.
A Busch North standout as well. Craftsman Truck Series driver, that number 64 car, actually moved from Connecticut to North Carolina to get better acquainted with things. We take a little further look back in the pack. That's the number 60 car of Ed Brown. He too is trying to compete full-time in ASA. And wow, look at Wayne Anderson. He's having some trouble. David Stremme and Pat Kelly trying to go by Wayne Anderson right now.
And Beebe there in the number 5 car, also putting a tremendous amount of pressure on these guys. Rick Beebe's turned it up a notch now. He's starting to move towards the front.
You know, Buddy Anderson's car just doesn't look like it's handling like it used to a couple laps ago at least.
Well, he goes in well on the bottom part of the racetrack, but you can see Rick Beebe gets a little bit better run as they get towards the straightaway. He's getting a little better forward bite.
Got to talk about the number 11 car, the Meyer car of David Stremme, because he is a wheelman. A lot of people expect him to win races in his rookie year.
Absolutely, and if you ever look at that car up close, it's one of the best maintained cars in the garage area, period.
Stremme running in the A spot right now, spoke to Howie Ledow earlier this morning, and he said, you know what, I was pretty proud. Buddy Baker came over and told me, man, your car is prepared pretty well, so you made him a happy camper today.
You can eat lunch, and any part of that race car is really, really nice.
Back to the lead, the number 83 car of Joey Clanton, really showing the way here. Buddy, you mentioned he's way out front. Could he be burning up his tires?
I think he's pretty good at it, but let's hear from Brian right now.
Well, Bon Suss, the crew chief for Joey Clanton. In the words of Buddy Baker, he's driving like a wild Indian. How long can he keep it up, and when do you have to pit?
Pit stop probably at the top yellow there about lap 126. Otherwise, the next yellow that comes out. But we're reminding him, keep the car under him, save the brakes. And he said he's just riding around. So I think we can run this pace the rest of the race.
You heard it from down here, guys. A lot of confidence on the part of Joey Clanton's crew.
Well, you know, Bon Suss has a lot of experience here in ASA. He was Mike Garvey's crew chief the past couple of years, has moved to Georgia for the Steve Dale Enterprises team, and it's crew chiefing now for Joey Clanton. That's probably a pretty good combination.
And I'm watching Joey Clanton's line around the corners now. Instead of staying right down on the yellow line, he's letting the car move out just a little bit in the center part of the corner. You can see right there, utilizing the racetrack a little more, not putting as much pressure on the right side tires. And he's on a conservative run, as they said, but he's very, very quick.
We have seen Joey Clanton really mature here in ASA. He was the Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, finished top 5 in points last year. Many expect him to contend with the likes of Sawinski, St. Amant, Anderson, Cope, and so forth for the championship this year. And he may be well on his way to possibly getting another season-opening victory. He would be the 5th driver in ASA competition to actually do that, win back-to-back openers.
And he's also a graduate from the Legends division also. He and his crew, the guy that owns the car there, they raced against each other. So that's where he came from.
You know, that's pretty interesting that you point that out. You know, the other interesting point is the Legends cars run on BF Goodrich tires. And a lot of these drivers say, you know what? This tire here in ASA competition, believe it or not, feels a lot like that Legends tire. And speaking of BF Goodrich tires, the BF Goodrich tires halfway there, that's the guy that's halfway there, halfway home to victory, Joey Clanton. He's led 55 laps in this WJ Plemons Investments 200 race so far, and he is smoking. You think anybody can beat him? I think there's plenty of challengers out there. We'll be back with more from Lakeland, Florida, ASA racing action. Under yellow flag condition here in Lakeland, Florida. Once again, the ASA Racing Series WJ Plemons 200 here in USA International Speedway. And he is the reason why we are under caution. Mike Cope, and we're going to take a look at a replay to find out why.
Trouble's off turn 2. You can see right there Robbie Powell in the 63 car gets into the left rear corner, and around goes Mike Cope. He's not going to be a happy camper.
No give and take right there. Those guys battling for position on the racetrack. Mike Cope, a determined racer from Florida here, wanted to win today, was coming through the field in just a little bit of trouble. But he, you know what? He was questioning whether he had to pit again, so he will come in now, most likely, get some tires, and go back out there and still try to race to the front here.
And the leader was just behind them. That's why they were racing so hard, trying to stay in that lead lap.
You know, Joey Clanton has led a copious amount of laps here, has actually led more than 60 laps in this race. And we're going to take a look at what's happened from lap 50 to lap 100 here in ASA competition. There is Joey Clanton going to the lead. He would lead a big chunk of this race from lap 50 to lap 100. Man, that guy is on the move right now. And here we got a battle for ninth. You see the Rocket Man, Rick Beebe, in that instant shade car going to the inside of Johnny Spa. And there goes David Stremme, the rookie, too. In fact, here comes Stremme again to the inside of Rick Beebe. That, too, is a battle for ninth spot on the racetrack. And there's the 07 car. He's dropped back a little bit since the start of this race, but Kyle Busch still running very, very well out here. The number 11, David Stremme, also moving through the field up to the 8th spot. But right now, oh, here we go. Pit stops, Brian Till.
The 83 of Joey Clanton slides to a stop. The crew's going to change right side tires. This is exactly what they needed. It's inside their window. They're leaking some fuel as the fuel man goes to put the can in. He spilled some. Let's get down to Jim Tretow.
Standard procedure, guys. Each of the leaders, Gary St. Amant is in, as is Kevin Sawinski and Dan Fredrickson. Each team electing to take on right side tires, as is first-time ASA Kyle Busch. First car off pit road is Gary St. Amant, followed by the one of Sawinski. Of course, they're all beat out by Joey Clanton, the race leader.
Well, Joey Clanton has a brand new team, a lot of new crew members. They had a dynamite pit stop there. They go in first and come out first.
Yes, and I will tell you, Gary St. Amant had a great stop also.
Even had a little trouble on the right rear getting that gun off the right rear, but Gary St. Amant, second right now, picks up a spot on Kevin Sawinski. We'll see how this all shakes out here in Lakeland, Florida when we come back with the W.J. Plemons Investments 200 in Lakeland. You can't get any better weather than we're having here today. Those geese enjoying a little stroll through the park here in Lakeland, Florida. But I don't think they're having as good of a time as we are up here in the booth covering this ASA racing action for the season opener. Joey Clanton out front, and here comes Gary St. Amant.
Kevin Sawinski going by lap traffic there on the outside. Everybody bottled up as they head down the back straightaway.
Very interesting. You got the LaFavre cars there in the top 5. David Stremme there in the 11 car. He's moved to 5th, and Mike Garvey has battled way back in that 17 all-carpet car to the 6th spot. One guy not in the top 5 right now. I'm wondering, looking through the field to see where the heck this guy is. That's Kyle Busch. He has gone way back in the field, actually running in the 14th spot right now in the number 07 car. And buddy, that's a tough break for him. I think he might have had some trouble on pit road, Jim Tretow.
Here's the reason why, guys. This is actually the connector that connects the air hose to the air gun. It's sheared off on the gun itself. This goes into the hose. This threaded area goes in the gun. It physically broke off the gun, so they had no air pressure the right rear. So when they came around to change it, they had to use the gun for both the right front and the right rear. It cost them a bunch of time on pit road. They're about to fix it.
And buddy, there's the pit stop right now. You can see them taking all sorts of time on pit road.
Yeah, and that's their first ever ASA with Kyle Busch, and I'm sure right now they were trying to talk to him, get information about what the car was doing, because he was dropping back some. We'll see what he has now as we go back under green. You see Russ Tuttle there in the green car back out on the raceway. He was involved in an accident on back straightaway. Looked like he was out. He's back.
And you saw actually in that video of that pit stop of Kyle Busch, the jack bin as the 07 car pulled away, he just slammed the jack back against that pit wall. He knew that they had a bad pit stop, and he looked pretty ticked off.
All they have to do is look at Mike Garvey, though. He started at the tail end of this field after spinning, coming off turn 2, has worked his way back up to 6th.
Mike Garvey is a determined race car driver. After the new year, didn't know what he was going to do when he split up with LaFavre Racing. as we look at his former LaFavor Racing teammate, the #1 car of Kevin Sawinski. But Garvey's battled back, and so has Kevin Sawinski. He said, you know what? I think we have a dynamite team this year. Kevin Sawinski running third right now, but Joey Clanton is the class of the field so far. Gary Sadamont in second spot, and don't count out David Stremme right now, running in the 5th spot. We'll be back with more racing action, ASA style, in a moment. Promotional consideration and a fee paid by Angola Coach, sponsor of USA International Speedway, providing quality service and sales for RV trailers and premium touring coaches.
We have trouble up in the corner right now.
Oh boy. Trouble up in the corner. The number 86 of Wayne Anderson has gone around. We also have some extracurricular activity up there as well. That's the number 20 of Brian Schwartz involved as well.
And Brandon Miller, this is his second wreck today. Looks like it might have torn the car up to where he won't be able to go along. Dan Hull also involved.
Ooh, there you go. You see some left front damage on that car. Not just sheet metal. Looks like he has some suspension damage there as well. That car looks like a modified, buddy.
You can see both tires hanging out there. Already had problems earlier in the race. They had taped it up. You see the left front there where they had taped the front end together there.
We'll take a look at what we have on the replay, buddy. What do you see?
Well, that's Wayne Anderson going around. Whether he had any help or not, probably so, because I noticed a couple of cars up there that were probably trying to get back to him again. Ow!
Jim Trado, what do you have for us?
Well, Brandon Miller was already involved in an incident on the right backstretch where he went skying off with the right side. The team spent many laps behind pit wall, getting the car fixed, getting the body where it should be. However, this is a left front impact. We see there's still some tape left over from the last incident. They're trying to keep the hood fixed, of course. They want to keep that on. The car's not having a cooling problem, but the left front fender, preliminarily, is the only thing wrong with it. They do have some bracketry they have to saw off. That holds the front fender outward of the left front wheel, so they need to shear that away before they get back out there.
Buddy, you never want to see that Sawzall come out in competition in racing, do you?
Yeah, but it's nice how that fiberglass can peel back. If that's metal, you couldn't get it back that quick.
Down to pit road and Brian Till.
Well, David Hull is in. They're working on that right rear. You might have seen one of the crew guys, his back covered with what we call racer's tape. They had it taped on his back. They were ready for him when he came in. A big square piece they put over it, some bungee straps, he's off.
Gene Roberts, who was Joey Clanton's crew chief last year, the crew chief on the number 0 this year. Robbie Pyle, well, he has actually come back through the field, running pretty good in the 9th spot right now after all sorts of trouble. And you know, in the Olympics, Apollo Antonono won that short track speed skating thing in the Olympics, won the gold medal and the silver as well. Well, Robbie Pyle, that's him when he was 5 years old. And Robbie, too, Apollo Antonono, he started as a short track speed skater. So did Robbie Pyle. Take a look at that. That's him at an early age. His teenage years was a championship. And then he wed his wife there, Judy Ann. And guess what they did on their wedding reception? They went to the roller rink. That's Robbie Pyle leading the conga line. And there is Judy Ann, too. Look at them in their dress and tux. That's some pretty sharp stuff right there. Take a look at that footwork.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not. I don't know if Robbie Pyle knows we have this video, but Judy Ann, with the help of her, she gave us this video. And take a look at that. I'm pretty impressed by her footwork. And what's happening here? Robbie Pyle pushing Judy Ann right now. And I don't think this is going to turn out too good. She falls over.
That's my type of roller skating right there.
What a way to start a wedding, actually getting pushed over at your wedding reception.
Oh.
You don't know what to say, do you?
No, I'm a little confused here.
Pretty cool. Robbie Pyle, he's an all right dude, and so is his wife, Judy Ann. A great team there with the Sitco bunch, and we know Robbie Pyle is going to win a bunch of races here in ASA competition. Big-time problems for Brandon Miller in that number 4 car, but we're going to have more racing action when we come back here in Lakeland, Florida. Trouble again here in Lakeland, Florida at USA International Speedway. The yellow flag flies, and that car right there, the number 28 of Tim Taylor, He was involved in that EMAS ambulance service car, and so was the number 63 car of Robbie Pyle, who we were just talking about. There's the damage, buddy, on the left side of that car.
Well, he's got damage on both sides. He got into the outside wall also as he started off turn 2 over there. There was a little bit of contact between he and some other cars. You can see the right rear corner there kind of pinched in on the 63 of Robbie Pyle.
The 21 car, the Great Clips car of Dan Fredrickson, doing a great job out here today. But you know what? We have a couple of guys up front today, that being Gary St. Amant and the number 1 car of Kevin Sawinski. Last year, he drove the 21. They were involved in a big wreck, and the guy actually running 6 right now, Mike Garvey there too, and here it is, buddy. That brings back nightmares for Gary St. Amant and Kevin Sawinski.
A lot of drivers there. Last year they were teammates. Not much said. This year, it wouldn't be the same.
Oh yeah, no holds barred this year. You know, Kevin Sawinski was not too happy after that one. Neither was Gary St. Amant. Mike Garvey coming upon a lap car. That lap car in the way. Mike Garvey maybe helping him out of the way just a little bit. And Mike Garvey went on to win the race.
Very nicely said.
Right there, Mike Garvey in that number 17 all-carpet car. Mike Garvey is the defending champion of this race here, and he is really coming through the field. But you know what? That guy has been showing a lot of promise here today, the RE/MAX Challenge Series Rookie of the Year last year. And Dan Fredrickson is a guy we're going to hear a lot about this year from Elko, Minnesota, the home track right there, and here he is.
Coming into the 2002 season, Dan Fredrickson didn't even count on running ASA. And quite frankly, the guys on the 21 team, they thought they may be spectators too as their driver, Kevin Sawinski, moved on to the number 1 car. But Dan, some last-minute sponsor magic. You guys were able to put a deal together. What's it mean to run with a team like LeFevre Racing?
Well, we're all real excited, and we're gelling really good. We just need a little more time to get things completely ready to go. And short notice to get to this race. We're really excited about the rest of the season.
Well, a talented young driver and a very experienced team. Look for him to battle for Rookie of the Year honors, and look for him to be up front all season long.
And Dan Fredrickson has a lot to be excited about. His new crew chief is Nate Thiessen. Nate, what have you been able to tell your young driver to keep him up front?
Well, he may be a rookie in the series, Jim. How was your winter? Pretty good? He may be a rookie in the series, but I tell you what, he's no rookie on the racetrack, and it just goes to show. We just said coming into today that this was going to be a learning race for us as quickly as this thing came together. It just shows Danny's a quick learner as long as everybody else in our crew. The Country Joe Holmes LeFevre Racing team is bound to be up front at the end of the day.
Last question, Nate. You're standing next to Mike Chaffee, the crew chief here on Kevin Sawinski's car. This is team personified, Mike. How have you guys been able to work together?
Oh, this has been great. I'm real proud of Nate. He put this team together in a week, and he's doing a great job. I really hate losing him as my engineer, but I'm proud of him and the opportunity he's getting here. But I'm able to work with him just like I did before, bounce ideas off him, and this is what teamwork is supposed to be.
A direct connection. Both crew chiefs sharing the same pit box in Kevin Sawinski's pit.
Well, Jimbo, those two guys are pretty darn smart, and that's a smart racer right there, too. A very, very patient runner, David Stremme, running in the 5th spot right now. A lot of people think he's going to win races, and that's because he's got some experience in this series from the past couple of years.
Rookie David Stremme has been tabbed by veteran ASA car owner Ron Daniels to drive his car full-time this year. Stremme's had some limited and successful runs in ASA. David, you've been able to lead some laps. You've been able to win some pole positions in ASA. Talk about this opportunity, pairing yourself with such a veteran crew.
Well, I think it gives me a lot of confidence going into this season here with Howard and the people from Meyer behind me. And we'll be able to show a lot of consistency throughout the year, and hopefully we get some good results with the car.
Stremme's hoping to be the 7th, yes, that's right, 7th driver that Howie Letto has worked with and won Rookie of the Year honors with.
You know, no rookie has ever won a season opener, but a little bumper tag there between two rookies, Dan Fredrickson and David Stremme, as the green flag flies once again here in Lakeland, Florida.
And Mike Garvey did not come up to speed there. He lost about 10 spots and into the outside wall with the left side of Mike Garvey's car. He hit very hard on the outside wall.
A tough break for the all-carpet team. Mike Garvey in the wall here. He was running so well coming through the field after that earlier incident, and we are under the yellow flag condition once again.
When they dropped the green flag, Mike Garvey's car did not go. I'm sure he was collected from behind, but he just never got up to full song. You see him undoing his seat belts and all. Probably the end of the day, the car hit very hard on the left side, probably moved all the suspension in towards the center part of the car.
And that was a brand new car. Here's the replay, buddy.
You can see him, he's never up to speed there. He starts in and gets collected by the 53 car there, going in the corner and hard into the outside wall.
The 53 car of Richard Fincher tagging Mike Garvey. He was on the inside. Mike Garvey having trouble coming up to speed, and watch this hit. He takes a pretty good lick. Ooh, just a tough break. That was a brand new race car, Jim Trado.
Richard Fincher is also coming down pit road. His crew chief and car owner is Scott Hansen. Hansen's on top of the pit box calling the shots. He's assembled a crew for Fincher. This team is prepared out of shops down the road for where Hansen worked for his team a year ago. They're going to come in, change tires under the direction of Scott Hansen, the driver who's led the most laps here in previous races at Lakeland. To Brian Till.
Robert Chafin, the crew chief for Mike Garvey, did he say anything about what happened? It looked like he had a little trouble getting up to speed on that restart.
When we was coming by to get the one to go, he's pumping the brakes. Instead of apparently a seal blew out of the caliper, we had no brakes. We were going to fall back and just ride around and then park, whatever. And these rookies took off and got on both sides of him. One blasted him, and nothing you can do.
Ooh, a tough break for Mike Garvey there. You hear that from his crew chief right there. And his crew chief, Robert Chaffin, has actually been his crew chief for many, many years, a long time ago in the All-Pro and Hooters Pro Cup Series as well. But Mike Garvey, done for the day, I would say, here in Lakeland, Florida. He'll go to the next race in a couple of weeks in Irwindale, California, and try to win that one there.
Yeah, and I'm going to take up for Richard Finch there. He really didn't have a whole lot to do there. He tried to get on the bottom part of the racetrack and could not.
We got the conclusion of this one coming up in a moment right here in Lakeland, Florida, USA International Speedway. Live here in Lakeland, Florida, USA International Speedway, the site, the W.J. Plemons Investments 200. Joey Clanton in the Campfire USA Georgia Council car. He is in the lead right now. And that guy right behind him, boy, he is coming on strong. Kevin Sawinski there. Taking a look at the last 50 laps. Mike Cope, contact with Robbie Pyle, and around goes the FloridaAutoAuction.com number 25. Then the pit stops. There's the number 83, the leader, Joey Clanton. And a smoking pit stop, he gets out first on the racetrack. A dynamite stop for the Clanton bunch. They are on rails today. Then we take a look. Take a look at the speed on this one as the field flies by. Every car in this race doing a great job here today. Kevin Sawinski going past Gary St. Amant into the second spot. Kevin Sawinski a threat for the win here today. Then we see Dan Fredrickson, David Stremme, and Gary St. Amant all battling for third, fourth, and fifth. And then more trouble. There goes Mike Garvey around and into the wall. That is the last 50 laps here in ASA competition at Lakeland, Florida. Okay, buddy, here we go. 154 laps done. 200 laps the distance. As we look through the field, who do you think has a shot at this race still?
Well, it's obvious Joey Clanton right now is doing a great job. So Sawinski, I think he has a little bit extra left. You never know about the 7 car, Gary St. Amant in third place. And fourth, a rookie doing a great job today. Fredrickson is doing a super job. Right behind him, David Stremme. As we come around, getting ready for the green flag.
The green flag flying again. You saw that rundown. Brad Bennett having some mechanical troubles out here has faded way back in the field. Right now, Joey Clanton out front once again, and he pulls a couple of car lengths over Kevin Sawinski. We look at them freight training down the backstretch. Looks like Stremme might have brushed the wall back there.
And Kyle Busch making a move there on the inside of the 29 car as he moves up another spot on the restart.
Reed Sorensen in that number 29 car, the 16-year-old kid, Legends car, standout, doing a great job out here today. He's in the 10th spot right now in that Aviation Group car. Here comes Wayne Anderson too. Wayne, earlier trouble on the racetrack for him, but he is still trying to move up through the field in that Johnny King 86. Right now, we're looking at some of the guys that are moving up through the field. Reed Sorensen, of course, one of those guys. Todd Cleaver, Doug Malik, and Chad Wood as well. And they are all competing for the W.J. Plemons Investments Hard Charger Award, the guy that started further back in the field and made his way through the field. Man, take a look at that. Imagine having, as a rookie, the two-time All-Pro champ, Wayne Anderson, all over your back bumper.
And you said that correctly, all over the back bumper. He gave him a couple of shots in the pad just to let him know, here I come, buddy. They're side by side. Yellow flag is out again.
Yellow flag for a wreck in turn number 1. That is the number 44 of Peter Cozzolino and the number 53 of Richard Fincher. Of course, Jim Trado mentioned a little while ago, the number 53 is actually Scott Hansen's car, and Peter Cozzolino in that number 44, returning to ASA for the first time since 1997 on a full-time basis. We got a lot more to come here at USA International Speedway. Joey Clanton in the lead at Lakeland. 163 laps in the books here at USA International Speedway. The WJ Plemons 200 restarted once again with Joey Clanton in the lead.
What a great jump on the restart there. The Clanton got on the whole field. He's about 4 car lengths in the lead before they get to turn 1.
Why is he so much better than anybody right now, buddy?
Well, he's just right on it. He's the guy that starts the race. When he goes, everybody else goes. He's getting great jumps on restarts. He puts them away. Now he's about 7, 8 car lengths.
Man, that car is ultra quick here today. The battle's a little bit further back in the pack. You see the number 11 car there. And the number 2, we talked about him in the break. Mike Cope on his back bumper right now, but the number 2, Chad Wood, in the GoTents.com car, doing very, very well here today.
Very, very well. And just behind Cope is Kurt Busch. I knew it. How many times am I going to say that? Kyle Busch in the 07 has moved back into contention. Now he's just behind the 25 car. You see him right on the bottom of the racetrack. Sponsorship, Jack Roush.
The 29, Reed Sorensen in the Aviation Group car, running very, very well. We have a yellow on the racetrack, and it appears to be for the number 30 of Travis Kittleson, who has spun in
I don't know where he's going to go. I think
2.
he's going to come down, so just keep your eyes open. He's coming down. He's coming down. Stay up a little bit. You're good. Good job, buddy.
Listening to some radio communication right there, but that is Travis Kittleson, who was running so well earlier in the race, going around in turn number 2 and bringing out the caution once again. Reed Sorensen, we've been speaking a lot about this kid because he's got quite a future, especially right here in ASA. He is a Legends car standout, and he could run very, very well all year this year. Let's find out a little bit more about him.
When you've been racing for over half your life, it's hard to imagine being called a rookie anymore. But for 16-year-old Reed Sorensen, 9 years of racing has brought him to ASA.
Yeah, we feel that the legend cars and late models sort of helped us prepare for this, and we're just going to do the best we can, and hopefully we can learn a lot and just go from there.
It's hard to imagine. This kid just got his driver's license in February, but with his resume and a little ASA experience, this is a name you're going to be hearing a lot from in the future.
Buddy, did you see the size of the feet on that kid?
He can mash all 3 pedals with 1 foot.
Holy moly. No wonder why he's able to push that pedal to the floor and run to the front of the field. That's his crew standing by right there, the Pennzoil boys and the Aviation Group team, and Reed having a great run here today, as are so many rookies. I mean, if you look right in front of him, you have Kyle Busch, Dan Fredrickson having a great run, and Reed Sorensen out of Peachtree, Georgia.
I think ASA ought to be proud of their rookie crew this year. I think they're as talented as I've ever seen.
You know, ASA has actually bred a lot of great racers, including Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, and that's another guy that could be coming up through the ranks right now, too. Talking about the number 14 car of Doug Malik. Malik running very, very well. He's actually run as high as 15th here today. He's currently 16th, and we don't know too much about Doug Malik, so here it is.
ASA Racing has always had deep roots in the Midwest, and Doug Malik is one of 3 Wisconsin drivers vying for Rookie of the Year honors. Now, Doug, you have 10 years of modified experience back home in Wisconsin. How do you take that experience and put it to play in ASA?
We don't take much of it, actually. Dirt racing's a lot of sideways, pouring into corners pretty hard. This ASA racing and this asphalt racing, you need to keep up a lot of momentum. Keep your momentum through the corner, get on the gas slowly, get into the corner smooth. So we don't take much other than determination and willingness to finish up front.
Well, will and determination is part of the ingredients it takes to be competitive in ASA.
Malik running pretty well here today in Lakeland, Florida. And that number 14 car, you see a little damage on the right side of that car, but that's not hurting him too much. Want to say a special hello to Sonny and Jeff at Amulet's post number 117. Thanks for the flag, says Brian Robbins, who just joined us in the booth for the new ASA headquarters in Pendleton, Indiana.
You know, on Joey Clanton's car, I keep seeing the Campfire USA. What's that all about?
You know, I was actually talking to Joey and a couple of people on that team, Steve Dale included, and as we go green flag here, basically what that is a camp to help troubled children, anywhere from 5 to 21 years old, and they come there and have a great time and then try to get better in their life.
A great restart again by Joey Clanton. You see back in the pack, it's a war back there. Side by side as they come off turn 2, down the back straightaway.
Hey, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is when you have to make your move if you want to challenge for the top 5 spots in this race. Everybody wants to be there, but only 5 cars can. Only one guy can win the race, and Gary St. Amant would like to be that guy. Kevin Sawinski, Dan Fredericks, and David Stremme, but they can't catch that 83 car.
Gary St. Amant getting a lesson from a rookie just behind him, Dan Fredericks, all over that trunk lid in a 21 car.
Oh, here we go. We're back to the battle between the Johnny King car. That's Wayne Anderson, a battle for 10th and 11th, and Reed Sorensen, who we've been speaking so much of here today. And Reed, I can't believe he's doing a great job, buddy.
Well, I expected him to run well, but right now he's being worked over from behind. If his foot slips off the accelerator, into the wall he'll go, because they're very, very close at the moment, inches apart as they go through the corner.
What do you think about a 16-year-old kid competing in this top-notch premier short track series in America?
My thoughts, I would rather race with a 16-year-old that has good reflexes and 10 years of racing experience than I had a guy 60 years old having trouble finding the corner.
But do you think he's sweating it a little bit with Wayne Anderson behind him? Oh, maybe not behind him anymore, going right around him.
That problem has been erased.
He said, ooh, I'm feeling the heat a little bit, but Wayne Anderson, obviously the faster car out there. Going back in the field a little bit, the number 55 car, he is doing pretty well here today, the 55 of Todd Cleaver. He is a Wisconsin boy who has won the Madison Track Championship, and he's running very well there today. There he is, the number 55 blue and orange car, trying to get some experience, and that's what it's all about. Currently 14th now. Cleaver, up from Jim Trado's neck of the woods in the Wisconsin area. Let's find out a little bit more about him.
23-year-old Todd Cleaver comes to the ASA Series with impressive credentials. He's only been in a late model for 2 years, this being the 3rd year, and he's going ASA Racing. Todd, you had an impressive year last year. Tell us about what you were able to accomplish.
Last year we only had 1 car and 1 engine, and we ran for 2 championships, and we were pretty successful. We won both of them. One at Madison International Speedway, running every Friday night, and one on the Midwest All-Star Racing Series, where we were also Rookie of the Year.
That was a touring series, guys, so he's used to touring, used to obviously saving his equipment. 1 car, 1 motor, 35 races, and 2 championships.
Todd running pretty good. There he is right there battling with Tim Taylor, who's got some damage on that car.
Absolutely. Right front fenders coming off the race car, but you can see it's not hurting anything. As he goes down the back straightaway, Tim Taylor makes a move, takes that inside line, and takes the position away.
Cleaver didn't know which way to look. Tim Taylor went high, then he went low and got right around him.
The nice part of the fiberglass body that they have on these cars, they can flap like that, and they're not a danger to the cars on the outside of them.
Cleaver battling right now with Johnny Spa. We spoke a lot about him. Doesn't know his plans for the entire season, but running fairly well here today. Spa in the 16th spot. Cleaver in the 15th spot right there as Spa goes to the inside to try to pick up a top 15 finishing position. Spa is a multi-time track champion at Hawkeye Downs Speedway, which we will visit twice this year, buddy.
They told me in late models he's unbeatable there, so it's good to see him here at our first race. Hopefully he will get the sponsorship to continue. He ran full circuit last year.
Joey Clanton way out front, and there is our buddy Russ Tuttle in the Conseco car having a tough day, but he is still running. You saw him pass the number 10 car of Greg Williams. You saw Russ sitting in the pits a little while ago. For all you Russ Tuttle fans, he's back out on the track trying to pick up as many points as he can, and that's what it's all about, the points championship, isn't it? Because there's a lot of money on board for that.
And it's also a good test session for him. Might as well learn something when you have problems.
Can anybody stop Joey Clanton? That is the question right now as he leads Sawinski, St. Amant, Fredrickson, and Stremme here in Lakeland. This is the third straight year we're here in Lakeland, Florida for ASA competition, the WJ Plemons 200 today, and you can see the fountain flowing over with water, and we're just flowing over with excitement here today in this 200 lap go for broke race, and that guy right there is going for broke right now, trying to be the 5th driver to win back-to-back season openers in ASA.
I asked him about the flames on the car. I know why they put them on there. Now, Joey Clanton is on fire today. He is flying around here.
He's pretty darn hot, but you know, lots of battles a little bit further back in the pack, including that guy right there. Those 3 cars, Gary St. Amant, Dan Fredrickson, and David Stremme. We've been watching a lot about them, and they've been doing a darn good job trying to track down the 2-time champ. Back to your leader. Take a look at that distance between the competition, buddy.
Boy, he's taking the intrigue out of who's going to win this thing, but I will tell you there's a huge battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, on back in the field. But Joey Clanton, I like his style, I tell you what. I thought maybe he was pushing the car a little too hard at the first part of the race. That car is flawless. Right around the racetrack, no slippage. The car is really doing well.
8 laps to go, actually 7 right now on the line. Joey Clanton may be on his way to another season opening win. His brother Rusty working on the car now with him. And that right there is Mike Chaffee, crew chief for the Tecumseh #1. Kevin Sawinski looking to see if maybe Kevin can close the gap, but I don't think so, buddy.
No, but one thing good about Kevin Sawinski's car is also very good. It's just not good as that 83 car, Joey Clanton.
We saw that in the beginning of last year. This number 83 car was on rails at the beginning. In fact, he won 2 out of the first 3 events in ASA competition. David Stremme in that Meyer number 11 really pushing it, trying to get by Dan Fredrickson.
Stremme's been up there. They've exchanged paint a little bit, but can't make the pass.
5 laps to go right now. That is the battle for 4th, Fredrickson and Stremme. But they're not going to catch that guy right there, the Campfire USA car of Joey Clanton.
Right now, Joey Clanton has a pretty good run there. You see David Hole up there just in front of him in the 0 car. Other than that, not much traffic at all.
There's Bon Suss and the boys. The other guy in that shot was Joey Clanton's brother, Rusty, cheering him on to victory here. And the WJ Plemons Investments 200, only 6 drivers have actually won ASA season openers and gone on to take the championship.
I've been in the spot before, and when you're that far out in front, and you know it's your race to give out, I mean, if you do anything wrong, you're going to be called a pretty dumb guy with a great car like that. Right now, he can hear every bolt in that car.
He's probably a little bit nervous trying to pick up his first win, as we saw in a graphic a little while ago, since Winchester in September of last year. Joey Clanton having a good close to the 2001 ASA season and hoping to have a great opening to the 2002 season here. And he's well on his way with 2 laps to go here in Lakeland, Florida.
Down the back straightaway, nothing but clear racetrack in front of him. Just a few lap cars up there, shouldn't be a problem.
Joey Clanton and his wife, Brandy, had a baby during the winter. Emily Renee, 1 lap to go, and he is going to make Emily Renee very, very happy here today. She is on the premises in a motorhome right now, actually probably watching the race with her grandmother, but Joey Clanton is on his way to victory. There he is, turn number 3, turn number 4. Here he comes, buddy.
Down on the bottom part of the racetrack, final straightaway.
Joey Clanton, your winner of the season opening event here in Lakeland, Florida for the ASA Racing Series as his crew goes wild down on pit road. Joey, one happy fella in there. There's his brother Rusty right there, a very happy guy as well, as the crew gets a lot of hugs. Bon Suss, Brian Till, are they excited?
I'd say they're excited. Hey, Bon, are you guys going to make it this embarrassing for everybody else all season long?
We hope so. Joey did an awesome job with that Campfire USA. They came on board, and we're glad to have them. And these guys, you know, I came to them about a month and a half ago, and they worked their tails off, and it's paying off now. We tested good here, and we're just real happy for everybody.
That's a team effort down here, guys, without a doubt, and you won't find anybody any more excited.
You know, pretty interesting, actually. Bon Suss is crew chief 2 Lakeland winners in a row. Mike Garvey won last year. He was the crew chief there. Now he's the crew chief for Joey Clanton. We got lots more. Please don't go away because it's going to be an emotional victory circle when we return here in Lakeland, Florida. Joey Clanton, the winner over Kevin Sawinski, will be in victory lane when we return. Coverage of the 2002 ASA Racing Series Championship is being brought to you by BF Goodrich Tires. Take control. Joey Clanton, the winner of the WJ Plemons Investments 200, doing some burnouts on the backstretch, buddy. He's pretty excited.
Yeah, and he got on the front straightaway and almost wrecked. Jim Trado?
That's right.
For the second straight year, the season opener has gone to Georgia driver Joey Clanton, climbing out, elated. They've had crew changes. Joey's more involved day today, but more importantly, you start the season with a win. How big is this for you guys?
This is awesome. I mean, this is for the boys and girls of Campfire USA. This shows with a little dedication, a little hard work. We put this team together in a month. You can go out and do anything.
You brought on Bon Suss. He worked with Mike Garvey for a number of years. There's a lot of changes in the shop. Talk about how that has helped your team get stronger.
Well, I mean, it's nothing but communication. We got a great team, our team owner with Steve Dale. He's given us everything we need here in a month. And when we started a month ago with nothing in the shop but race cars, we put a heck of a team together. They showed it today on pit road. We burned everybody out of the pits. Kept us out front. We brought this thing home with us a winner.
Joey Clanton, a winner, and again, for the second straight year, the season opener goes to Joey Clanton. Bobby?
A big congratulations, Jimbo, to Joey Clanton, his brother Rusty, the whole gang down there, Bon Suss, Steve Dale, and everybody. You see Mike Miller, the ASA PR guy, actually doing a little interview with Joey. And we're taking a look at the unofficial results for the WJ Plemons Investments 200. A great run today by the 4th and 5th place guys, the rookies, Dan Fredrickson and David Stremme. David Stremme in that Meyer car. Chad Wood, a great run. His best finish in ASA, a 6th. Take a little bit further down the line. Kyle Busch in 11th. Robbie Pyle, all that trouble, still finishes 12th in the Sitco car. Pat Kelly, a pretty good run for him. Tim Taylor. Todd Cleaver, 15th in his first ASA race this year, battling for the Rookie of the Year championship. Travis Kittleson in 20th. Brad Bennett way back there in the 30th spot. Some of these guys having some trouble, including the 44 car of Peter Cozzolino, J.C. Beatty, and Brian Schwartz. Mike Garvey, a very tough lick, finishes 28th today, but I guarantee you he'll be back. This guy will be back too, doing some more burnouts, possibly in ASA competition this year. He's the winner in Lakeland, Florida.